Hey there folks, John here with Through My Lens, and today I'm coming to you with another knife-related video. Today I'm taking a look at the Rick Hinderer XM-18 and the Chris Reeve large Sebenza, and I'm trying to answer the question, which one is best for EDC? If you could only EDC, or have one knife for the rest of your life, which one would be the better all-around knife? And I've got my Kerr knife and tools, knife maintenance tray out, doing a little basic cleaning and maintenance on these knives, and I just started thinking about that, and I thought I would go ahead and do a video. And as long as I'm talking about maintenance, points probably go to the large Sebenza as being a little bit easier knife to disassemble and maintain and then reassemble. The XM-18 has more screws to deal with. It's got the liner that is not present in the large Sebenza 31. It's just slightly more complicated to disassemble and then reassemble than the large Sebenza 31. So the large Sebenza 31 will get points in that regard. This particular version of the large Sebenza 31 is one of the earliest models that came out once they switched over to the 31, and it still has S35VN blade steel. Chris Reeve Knives is going to be moving over to S45VN probably late this year or early next. We're not exactly sure when. Probably they're just running out their stock of S35VN. A lot of guys like S35VN because it can be sharpened relatively easy, particularly when you compare it to some of the newer super steels like M390 or 20CV that can be found on most Rick Hinderer knives like this one. M390/20CV, they're both chemically nearly identical. It can be a bit of a bear to sharpen. I've experienced that myself, and S35VN is you can sharpen it quite a bit quicker and quite a bit more easily than you can some of the more modern steels. So for a lot of guys, S35VN is a better choice. S45VN will be an even better choice because S45VN has a superior edge retention to S35VN. It's from the analysis that I've seen, S45VN has edge retention that's on par with S30V. S30V actually preceded S35VN when Chris Reeve's, in terms of the blade steels that Chris Reeve Knives has used, S30V was, had better edge retention, but was not as easy to sharpen as S35VN. S45VN will give you the edge. It's kind of the best of both worlds. Gives you that better edge retention that's just a notch below a 20CV or an M390. So almost as good in that regard, but it's about as easy to sharpen as S35VN from what I've seen. And ironically, Rick Hinderer has been kind of first to the market to that. He recently released a kind of a sprint run, if you will, or a limited run of XM-18s with the S45VN. I didn't pick one up because I know I'm going to be picking up a Chris Reeve in S45VN, but it's a pretty compelling choice for guys that like to sharpen their knives, and I really don't. I don't have the time for it, and I'm not that good at it. One of the reasons why I like 20CV is because it has the better edge retention. Now, historically, in terms of an EDC knife, the XM-18 has not been as compelling of a choice as the Chris Reeve Sebenza because it was always a little chunkier in the pocket and a little heavier too. And in recent years, Rick Hinderer has come out with the skinny XM-18, which is what this one is. You can see the S on the flipper tab denotes that this is a skinny model. On the other side, you can see the tri-way symbol. So this is one of the newest iterations of the XM-18, a Gen 6 tri-way that's skinny. And it's thinner between the handle scales. so it's a little bit less obtrusive in your pocket, which is certainly welcome. But it also has a thinner blade stock, so it's a much slicier type of a blade. This one happens to be a skinny sheep's foot, and I love that sheep's foot shape. This really is just one of the best knives in my collection. It really is. I carried this so much in the summer when I wanted to, something that was light and I didn't want to have a lot of bulky stuff in my pocket. This was perfect for it. From a weight perspective, it's a 1/10 of an ounce heavier than this knife. So that's not something that you're going to notice in pocket. Both of these are in that 4-ounce range. This one's about 4.76. This one's about 4.86. So most guys can tolerate around 4 ounces. I don't have a problem carrying either one in my slacks again during the week. So I think they're from a carryability perspective, they're both very good. Again, office environment, I probably wouldn't clip one to my pocket during the week, but both of them have very good pocket clips. The large Sebenza has a little bit tighter retention than the XM-18. I consider it, I actually like that I can get this knife out a little bit easier, a little bit quicker than I can this knife, because one of the purposes for me for carrying a knife in EDC is the possibility, however remote, that I would need to use it defensively. Either, again, in an office environment, I can't carry a firearm, so a knife like this could be my primary defensive tool if things go very badly. When I'm not at the office and I can carry a firearm, then I typically carry a knife like this clipped to my weak side. My strong side is where I carry my firearm. And you will note with the Sebenza, typically the large Sebenza does not come with 2 thumb studs. It only comes with one on the show side. There usually is not one on the clip side. Every once in a while, they will do a run of what they call double thumb lug models, but they're few and far between. You can send a Sebenza back to Chris Reeve, as I've done in this case, and get the second thumb lug installed. And I've done that because, again, carrying it on the weak side, I need to make sure I can deploy the knife with my left hand. I didn't do a very good job of that on camera, but it's something that I can do with this knife. However, while I can do it left-handed, a flipper is just going to be a simpler choice in that regard. And if I ever got in a situation, for whatever reason, that I couldn't use the flipper tab and I was trying to deploy the knife, you can use the blade stops or the thumb studs, whichever you look at them as being, to deploy the knife. So you've got options that you don't have with the Sebenza on the XM-18. Which one is better for EDC cutting tasks? That's a good question. I mean, for me, I don't risk pulling a knife out like this and scaring someone. I always carry a secondary knife like, one of these Swiss Army knives that's tiny and isn't going to raise any eyebrows if you have to bring it out and cut open a package or an envelope or something like this. 95% of my cutting tasks can be handled by one of these. So I don't typically use one for food prep. I don't typically do a lot of cutting. I don't need to break down cardboard or anything in my job. Those that do like the neutral grip that the Sebenza provides, if you have to do a lot of cutting for a long time, that neutral grip many find to be less fatiguing when you have to do lots and lots and lots of cutting. And of course, it's very thin blade stock, and you're hard pressed to find a better slicer than the large Sebenza. But these skinny XM-18s with the thinner blade stock, they're no slouch, believe me. You've got a lot of belly here on this skinny sheep's foot, and it comes from the factory, razor sharp. Very good grip. Obviously you're getting a lot of added retention benefit from the G10. I think it's fantastic from a grip perspective, and I think if you do want to use a knife like this for EDC cutting tasks, if you work in a different environment than I do, I think the XM-18 is a fine choice in that regard. Again, for my uses, these skinny XM-18s are a better choice. Not saying that this is a bad choice. I'm saying for my purposes, I really do like the XM-18 skinnies. I have a skinny sheep's foot and I have a skinny slicer too, and they both function very well as EDC knives, kind of general all-purpose cutting tools that just work rather well. And really is my choice. But everybody has some different uses and some different situations. Yours may vary from mine. You may find the Chris Reeve Sebenza would be better for you. If that's the case, let me know in the comments. Tell me what's going on with your carry situation and why one or both of these is the better choice for you. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Take care. God bless. We'll see you in the next one.
I hope you've enjoyed this production from the Through My Lens YouTube channel. If you did, please click on the like button and do share the video on social media. If you'd like to see more content like it, please do subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and do check out Through My Lens at www.throughmylens.org.